Is Tera Box going to be the BDIF? Tera Box is a deck that everyone is talking about right now. With the Atlanta Regionals coming up, with the beginning of rotation, we are definitely going to see a lot of these taking up the majority of the meta share at the actual event, and you're probably going to see a lot of these at your local cups and challenges and locals, especially as people start to explore and figure out what's going to work best for them. So the first thing to know about the Tera Box, it is a box deck. So a box deck basically just means it has a variety of different ways to attack. It doesn't, I'll be honest, when I first started playing the Pokemon TCG, this was, at the beginning of this season, people were talking about like Lost Box all the time. And I was like, but it uses Prime Catcher, it doesn't use the secret box. How is it a box deck? Just not understanding that it doesn't refer to the ace spec or a specific card within the deck, but it instead refers to the Architect, which is a lot of different attackers. And that's why while this deck is going to see a lot of use and a lot of performance, the ability to pilot this deck is going to also require a lot of brain power and a lot of consistent thinking multiple turns ahead. As while this deck does have a lot of different options to get you to the finish line, to get you to the win, that can sometimes trip you up and sometimes can be its own worst enemy. So this is the current build that I have been playing around with, that I have been using. Is this the best build? I don't know. I think that is something that's really cool about Tera Box in particular, that there are a lot of different ways that this deck can be built. This is just one of them. This is the one I have right now, and we'll see if it changes. So we're going to run through this deck, and then we're going to check out a couple games on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, as the cards have rotated there so we can actually play them now. So let's run through it. With our attackers, we of course got the Bloodmoon Ursaluna. This card is great because it can clean up a lot of damage late in the game, but due to items such as the Energy Switch and trainers such as Crispin, you can set this up earlier if you need a 240 attacker. It might be a lot to commit damage or energy to it, but it is there. It's also something you can use in the late game if you need it. The other attacker that you're going to see a lot in this deck, and a lot especially in the early game, is going to be this Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. So this Ogerpon is great in this format right now. Manaphy has rotated out and Shaman has not come in yet. So there's currently no single basic Pokemon in the format that can protect your bench from being attacked. Wellspring Ogerpon is so pumped about this. With a 3 energy cost, it can use its Torrential Pump attack to deal 100 damage to your active Pokemon and put 120 to one of the opponent's benched Pokemon. Something you need to keep in mind here if you're matching into like a Raging Bolt, or into just another deck that is using Tera Pokemon. Tera Pokemon are protected from being hit by bench damage. Tera Pokemon can be affected by Dragapult, who adds damage counters, or by Dusclops, who adds damage counters. Wellspring Mask Ogerpon adds damage. So Tera Pokemon are protected from this, so just keep that in mind with your attacking. We are going to be playing 2 of these. We're also going to have 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons. This is basically for draw energy. It can also help in a couple matchups as well. With the Myriad Leaf Shower, you can be accelerating energy to itself while you're building up others and bring this through for an in-game knock, especially if you match into like a Mamoswine, which is weak to grass, or anything like that. Teal Dance is the main thing we're going to be seeing. Once per turn, we can attach grass energy to it and draw a card. It doesn't count as our attach for turn. Another potential attacker we hear is the Terapagos EX. Unified Beatdown for 2 energy costs. You can do 30 times the amount of benched Pokemon only you have. So if you have down your area 0 underdepths and have a full bench of 8 Pokemon, you can do 240 damage, which is a nice knockout. Or also you utilize its Crown Opal attack, which does 180 damage to your opponent. Just keep in mind here, this does protect you from any damage done from a non-normal type Pokemon, but it's only basics. So if you're going up against a Dragapult, that Crown Opal is not going to do anything, but it can help you out in your matchup for like Raging Bolt, or even for the mirror match with Tera Box. Laddie's EX being a bit of a supporter Pokemon, basically for that Skyliner ability to be able to retreat out. But Eon Blade could come into handy. It does do 200 damage, and could be helpful, but I mean, primarily we're using it for Skyliner. Similarly with Mew EX, we're primarily using it for the restart to get cards back into our hand, but Genome Hacking can also be helpful. It does still take that 3 energy cost, so you're looking at a Crispin and an Energy Switch to actually be able to set this up in 1 turn. or manually attaching to it, which never feels great. Ditto is the Pokemon we always hope to start in our starting hand. That way we can place it down into active, use its transformative start, which you can only use in your first turn. It's a single time. You switch out that Ditto for any basic Pokemon in your deck to bring out one of our attackers, such as the Wellspring, the Tera Box, maybe even a Teal Mask if we need to set up some draw power. We have other great stuff in our hand, stuff like that. Our other supporter Pokemon is going to be the Fezandipiti EX to allow us that flip the script, draw 3 cards if our Pokemon's been knocked out in our opponent's turn. Cruel Arrow may come into play, but again, having a 3 energy setup, it just doesn't always feel great. Another 3 energy setup, though, is the Pikachu EX. With the Topaz Bolt, you discard the 3 energy, but you are doing 300 damage. That can help you out with your Archlodon matchup, or potentially just to clean up a final EX against a Raging Bolt in the final game. You also do have the Resolute Heart ability, allowing you not to be knocked out from a single hit, which is always very, very helpful. Skipping over to Lily's Clefairy, this is the one of the most exciting cards that's being added in Journey Together. You're going to see this card added in to a lot of different decks. Full Moon Rondo works very similarly to how Raikou V worked in the last format. Does 20 damage plus every benched on each side. So you can do a maximum of, especially if you're both using Area 0 Underdepths and you both have a total of 8 on each side, being 16 Pokemon down, you can hit for a total of 340. Very unlikely that your opponent's also going to set up their bench if they see you're playing Tera Box. They don't want to give you that added, but just for your bench alone, you can hit for upwards of 240 to really get some nice early game knockouts. With its ability being the Fairy Zone, turning all Dragon Pokemon into having the Psychic Weakness, it also allows you for some easy kills against Raging Bolt and against Dragon Bolt. A few more of our supporter mons. We have our 4 Hoot Hoots, which we're here to put down early game to evolve into our 4 Noctowls. The Jewel Seeker ability, when you evolve Noctowl onto a Hoot Hoot, as long as you have a Tera Pokemon in play, search your deck for any 2 cards that have Trainer on it, which is supporters, which is items, which is stadiums, anything that says Trainer in the upper left-hand corner. We have our one-of Tekken attacker here of the Cornerstone Mask, Ogerpon. Basically, this guy's here just to help us with the Walls matchup. With their ability Cornerstone Stance, they can't be dealt damage by any Pokemon that has an ability, but Demolish is what we're looking for, because this damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance, but more importantly, by any effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. And if a Pokemon, your active Pokemon has an ability that says this Pokemon cannot be attacked by EX Pokemon, this Pokemon cannot be attacked by Pokemon with ability, Cornerstone, that's an effect being added onto Cornerstone, so Cornerstone just hits everything for 140 damage. It's not a lot of damage, but it does hit at least. And our final 2 Pokemon being the Fan Rotom with their Fan Call ability. In the first turn, search for your deck for 3 normal type Pokemon with 100 HP or less. This is basically to get our Dittos out, to get our Hoot Hoots out, to get our Noctowls out into our hands so that way we can use them in our future turns. Alright, let's run through our trainers really quickly. We're playing 2 Boss's Orders for Gust, a Counter Catcher for Gust. We're playing 3 Nest Balls, 3 Energy Switches, a Night Stretcher, 3 Area 0 Underdepths, 3 Ultra Balls, a Professor's Turos to scoop up some Pokemon. Penny could potentially be a better option here, so that way you also recover energy, but using the Professor Turo also allows you to pick up Noctowls to reset up to be able to use them again in the next turn. Penny can only pick up basic Pokemon, but the added effect is you get anything attached to it back. So there are potential thoughts for going either way. Super Rod to get back energy and Pokemon into our deck, such as if we need to use Pikachu's attack twice in a game. We have 3 Crispins to accelerate energy, a Professor's Research to reset our hand, a single Buddy Buddy Poffin to get out some Hoot Hoots, a Sparkling Crystal as our A-Spec of choice when attached to a Tera Pokemon. Energy cost is 1 less, which you'll see that come into play in almost every game. A single switch so we can move our Pokemon around if we aren't able to get the Latias out, or if we're potentially hit with a Sob, we need some way to move around. Our Earthen Vessel we have 2 of to search out for energy. And then energy, we are playing a singular Metal, a singular Fighting, Psychic, Electric, and Water, and then 5 Grass energies to help us utilize that Teal Dance. Alright, that's the deck profile. Let's hop in and see how it performs. I'm going to choose Heads, because while Tails never fails, Head shreds, right? That's my rhyme. We'll go first. I do like going first with this deck. There's an argument for going second, being able to sob turn 1 and stuff like that, but if you don't get it into active, I don't see it. Fan Rotom down. We honestly probably should have just binged Latias instead of... it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. We can potentially run out our cards here. I could see us playing Area Zero this turn. It all depends on if Ditto is prized or not, if we're able to get a, and what we top deck here. Okay, going up against In's deck, this is actually good for us going second. I'm actually very happy to go second here. Okay. I think we have some plays we can do here. So let's grab Ditto, Hoot, and I don't think we're going to grab a Noctowl. We're not going to grab a Noctowl because we're looking to do a restart. So we're going to grab 2 Hoots here. 2 Hoots here. So we're going to play down the Ditto, and we are going to retreat into the Ditto. We are going to Transformative Start into Teal Mask Ogerpon. Yes, I think that's the play here. I think that's our best play here. Area Zero goes out. Hoot, and then Ultra Ball. I don't. Ooh. Actually, hold up a second. That Girl Ball's too close to the sun. I'm gonna lose my energy switch to get the Earthen Vessel. Because I'm not gonna be able to get down to 1. Which even then, that still puts me at 2 cards. If I'm planning to Earthen Vessel, I'm gonna be at 2 cards no matter what. So let's throw away the energy switch. I hate to throw away the energy switch, but I hate to throw away the energy switch, but I'm going to. We're gonna have Wellspring. Bench Wellspring. Bench Latias. We're gonna restart for 2. We're gonna throw away that. We do get the Nest Ball, which is nice. Is there anything I want to Nest Ball at this exact moment? If not, I might just hold on to this. I can't think of truly anything else I want to get down on the bench this turn. Especially if they bump my Stadium, Fan Rotom gets thrown away, and I can keep the other 5, so we will not Nest Ball this turn. We will Teal Dance for 1, and grab a Professor's Research, which is pretty great for next turn. We will throw down the Attach for turn onto the Wellspring. There's too many Ogerpons in this deck, that's what I'll tell you. It's only missing the Flame one. Alright, that was a great setup turn. That was a fantastic setup turn. Inzorak is an Evo deck, so they will not be able to get off an attack this turn. I would really love for this Monkey Dory not to be inactive, because Wellspring cannot one-shot it while it's inactive, but if I can get it onto the bench, which the only way for me to gust it onto the bench is with the use of a counter catcher, which again, they can't attack this turn, so it won't do enough. So we could end up going for a Sob angle. Okay, actually they might retreat so they can Badoo me, which I am actually okay with, assuming I can get Noctowl in hand, which I have Professor's Research. Oh, which I don't even need Crispin next turn. I don't need Crispin, I just need Energy Crystal. I just need Energy Crystal. Or they're going for Evo. Okay, they're going for Evo, so they aren't Badooing us. I don't think there's anyone we want to Nest Ball, but we could Nest Ball, restart for 2, and then Professor's Research. I don't know. Depends on the top deck here. It is Crispin is the top deck. Crispin is what we get here, which is a really good top deck. We only run 3 of them. I don't really want to throw one away, but I would really like to get the Crystal in hand. Because Crystal is great. We can put 100 damage here, 120 on a benched Zorak, or we could go for a different angle of attack. Could go with a different angle for attack, like we could go for a Terapagos hit, which only hits 240. Our Clefairy is prized, which is going to hit the most amount of damage. We could just put another Hoot on the bench. Just put another Hoot on the bench. Restart for 1. That is Energy Switch. We Energy Switch this to there. That way it gets shuffled back into the deck, and then we throw away Crispin. Hate to do it, but it is what we gotta do. Could Super Rod back in, but I don't really need either of them right now, so we'll hold on that. We'll hold on that in case the stadium gets bumped and we need to pull back a knockdown or something. Alright, we'll grab the Sparkling Crystal. And what else? What else do we really want here? Oh, shoot, we should have actually looked before we threw away. Oh, no. Never mind, the other two were... I was like, both of my other Crispins are prized. No, they're in my hand. We already have Crispin in hand. So I actually don't know what else I want here. I would love Boss, but I don't think I can Boss in this situation. Because I think I'll have to end up using Crispin next turn. Unless we Sob this turn. We could Sob this turn. That could be an interesting... That could be an interesting angle. I don't know if Zorak plays Switch or plays like a Professor's Turo, but I can see them playing it. And this will also allow them 30 damage to move due to the Adrenabrain here. So I think we just go for a Sob here. I think we just go for a Sob here and hope for the best. And hope for the best. We keep them inactive. They're going to push the 20 damage back to us, which is fine. I think it's just better than any other. And we have Boss in hand, so next turn we can Boss off one of the Zorarks and kill the Monkey Dory, which I think the Monkey Dory is what we need to get rid of, because it being able to just push damage around is not great. We knew this was probably coming. We're going to throw away the Noctowl and the Phanrotom. Two easy choices. We can Super Rod the Noctowl back into our deck to get ourselves another Noctowl in there if we need to. In's Castle, of course, all In's Pokemon have free retreats. Might also be worthwhile to snipe to get rid of the Darmok, because, like, In Zorark actually can only attack if they have a benched Pokemon to use an attack, so maybe actually we boss up like a Doramaku or whatever they're about to put down here, which is probably just another, maybe even Reshiram. I actually don't, oh wait, I have an In's Reshiram. I have the stamped In's Reshiram from when I opened the booster box. Let's see how much damage it does. Virtuous Flame does 170, and then Powerful Rage does 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon, but they don't end up putting that down. They put down the Petrarant EX, the one that's subjecting chains, which will allow them to put move a Pokemon into active. And are they really going to... Yeah, I thought they were going to throw it to me. I am going to boss up this thing, though, I think, and just get rid of it and Monkey Dory. I think that is the best play we can do here. The only thing is I do have energy in hand, so we might just keep the Sparkling Crystal, because I have energy in hand, but I have nothing to attach it to. And I have no way to, I mean, I could put down Terapagos, and I guess start getting prepped for like a 240 attack. Let's Super Rod to start things off and put Noctowl, Bloodmoon, and I think just Teal Mask. I don't think I care for Hoothoot, but I mean, I have a Teal Mask here. I don't think I need the other Teal Mask. So let's put Hoothoot back. Put those three back in a bench. We can Area 0, play down Terapagos, attach an energy to it, but that would require the Sparkling Crystal going to Wellspring. Which the only other person that the Sparkling Crystal is useful on would be like Terapagos. So I think the Sparkling Crystal would just be best used here. We take a little two prize card trade. But the powering up of Terapagos just feels like a lot, but we could also... I think we want to save... I think I want to save the crystal for like a Pikachu angle to get rid of Inzorark. So let's boss you. And then let's Torrential Pump and take out the Monkey Dory. Or also, here's the other option. Next turn we can, if we're still in the game, we Crispin. And then we Sparkling Crystal. But we don't want Monkey Dory down being able to move damage around. Also, they have to put down another In's Pokemon because Hey, that's both of our attackers we wanted. Because here's the thing, Zoroark cannot do anything on their own. I don't care how much health they have. Cannot do anything without a benched In's Pokemon, and the majority of them are Evos. Like, I mean, In's Reshiram is something, but Darmanitan, I think, is the main attacker that they use. I can't think of the other In's Pokemon. So this might just be best case scenario for us. In's Pokemon TCG. Unfair Stamp is a great pull for them. I just lost a lot of pieces that I needed for this next turn. We still got back the Crystal. Really wish we'd have also got a Noctowl. They played out another Darmanitan. Joltik is another one, and So Gifty, which I know doesn't do anything. The Clink Clank Clank. Yeah, I think Darmanitan is really their main attacker. So if I could just top deck Crispin or Noctowl, we're golden. If I can just top deck either of them, we would be in such a good position. We'll see what they grab off the Ultra Ball. I assume it's got to be another In's Pokemon to get onto their bench. Maybe even Pheasant. I don't know if they play Pheasantipity. In's Reshiram, which makes sense, is a good bench for them. So they might actually go for it this turn. They might retreat and just go for an attack here. But I mean, it's only going to do 170. Which doesn't knock me out. Okay, what do we top deck? Please be something useful. Okay, well, you know, that is something useful. I guess that is indeed something useful. Yeah, that is something useful, I guess. Cool. Cool. I could retreat. Yikes! Okay, so what my math I was trying to do there was with Darman, their evolution allows them to bench snipe. So they only have 2 cards in hand, so I'm just truly hoping that they don't pull either of those into their hands. Which we could have also went into Mew and only taken, but Mew would have been close to death. It really didn't matter who we ran into, but I didn't want to give them a prize either way. Okay, they do run Pheasantipity. They can get their trades here and potentially get it. I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of. Their deck is pretty thin at this point. I just really need a Noctowl. I really need a Noctowl. I hate that, like, we got the Phanroton back in hand of all things. In's PP up to get their other Ins set up. And I love an Iono. I love a good Iono. I love Iono. I don't think I've said enough how much I love Iono. Did you get it your attack? Or, I mean, if they got their attack, they can take 2 prizes here. Because they can use the Darmanitan to snipe. No, they can't snipe because it's placing damage. It's not damage counters, it's damage. So they can't snipe Wellspring. Hold up a second. Let me double check. This attack also does 90 damage to one of your opponents. It's not... Okay, well, they can counter catcher. So I guess they can do that. I guess they can do that too. That's fine. That's fine. Alright, so what do we want to do for our next turn? We gotta be thinking ahead. We don't really want to set up another Wellspring attack. That feels like that just doesn't feel good. How much damage can we currently get if we get down, like, Clefairy, for instance? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 200, 220 for active. So we can do 220. We need to do 242. We need to get 3 more benched Pokemon on our side. So I guess it's gonna matter what we top deck, because we have the Noctowl, but we need to get 3 more Pokemon benched. Remind me what the Power Glass does. At the end of this turn, this Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot. You attach a basic energy card from your discard. Why do you want to put an extra energy on here? That doesn't make any sense. You don't need extra energy onto this unless you play Energy Switch and you're planning to switch away next turn. I don't know, that's an interesting one. Alright, so we're going to send up the Latias. Inzorak is just going to float up there for the rest of the time. We're going to play down Area 0. I wish we would have gotten a playable card here. That way I could have restarted, but we will not be able to restart. I mean, we still might be able to, just not before the Noctowl. We could Noctowl for an Ultra Ball to get another Noctowl. We could grab Ultra Ball, Nest Ball for the Clefairy, Ultra Ball for a second Noctowl to grab Crispin and Buddy Buddy Poffin. Do I have 2 more Owls in here? 2 more Hoot Hoots? I only have 1 more Hoot Hoot. I don't think that's enough to do everything I'm wanting to do. I think we still go for the Ultra Ball route. I think we still go for that route. We're gonna leave Boss's orders. Or we're gonna throw away Boss's orders, rather. We're gonna throw away Area 0. Because if anything, I'm hoping to be able to... I could grab Pheasantipity. I grab Pheasantipity, bench it. I Nest Ball for Clefairy. I use Switch into Mew. Or into just any basic. And that's a full restart. That... Ooh, that's... spicy. I don't get another Noctowl for free. I could potentially draw into one. I mean, I have 3 more in my... I have 3 more in there, so I could get them. I could get it. Let's go for it. Let's play, because I need Pokemon down to be able to make this Clefairy play work. I need Pokemon on the bench to make this Clefairy play work. So we have an empty hand, so we restart for 3. Not what I was hoping for. We then flip the script for 3. Okay, not what I was hoping for. We Teal Dance for 1. Okay, not what I was hoping for. We Nest Ball for Sadness. I mean, we could go for a Unified Beatdown angle here, but I mean, it's not going to be enough for a knockout. Or we could Pikachu. Pikachu would just sit inactive. I know we could Professor Churro the Noctowl and get another Noctowl up, but it doesn't do anything for us. Like, we can't then use Crispin. Or, oh, wait a second. Hold up a second, I think that works. Actually, because we can Energy Switch. I think that works, actually. Hold up a second. Because I can Energy Switch this. Hold up a second, chat. I don't think we're cooked yet. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 200, 220, 240, 260. No, I'm down by 1! So grab Nest Ball. I'm out of Nest Balls. But we do have an Energy Switch. I could grab an Ultra Ball. I just throw away energy. I mean, I could... Buddy Buddy Poffin for the final Hoot Hoot. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 200, 220, 240, 260, 280. Yeah, that math. Maths! The math, it maths! We used a lot of pieces to make this happen. You could argue we used too many pieces to make this happen. But I think in the long run, we at least get prizes. And that's what we're looking for here. We hit the 280. I think we Sparkling Crystal attach here. I mean, we could use it. No, because we need too many pieces for that. So let's just hit the 280. Hit the 280, get our knockout. So Lily's Clefairy, primarily you're adding this to deal with Raging Bolts, to deal with Dragapults, but you can also use it to deal with big HP Pokemon. We could have also done everything we did there and grabbed Pikachu and done the same exact tactic with the Energy Switch and the Sparkling Crystal to get a Pikachu attack and have left someone in our active who can't be easily knocked out because of their ability, but we would have also thrown away all that energy. Instead, if they take the knockout here, our energy switches are gone. So I was like, we can set that up. We need Noctowl. Noctowl is our win con right here. Because all of our energy switches is gone because we had to throw it away. We still have 2 Crispins in deck, because if they end up putting Inzork in active, our knockout needs to be with Pikachu. Can they actually knock out Clefairy? I actually don't think they can knock out Clefairy. Because Backdraft does 30 damage for every energy card in our discard. We have no energy in our discard. I actually don't think they can knock out Clefairy. Right? Because I've left no damage on their side of the board. I don't think they can do anything here. Because they do 90-90 to one of our bench, which does nothing. So it's just, we're fine. We're just kicked back, just watching their turn go on, and just waiting for our turn to come up so we can clean up. That's fantastic. Is that the issue with Inzork? It just can't hit for a lot of damage? Because you're telling me you can't take... I clearly need to be missing something here, because you're telling me you can't knock out 190 HP Pokemon? Like, what? Okay, they can go this route, actually. But they can't. They can't poison it. They can go the poison route to do more damage. But they... Oh, and they're subjugating chains to poison it. Okay, that's their tactic. They use subjugating chains, which pulls Inzork into active, poisoning them, which activates the... Okay, what are we throwing away here? We're throwing away Noctowl because we don't care about it. Wellspring, because we don't... Wellspring doesn't get us the win, so we throw away Wellspring. And I guess a Noctowl, because I only need 1 for a win. But Mew and Latias could come into play. How many cards do I have in hand? I actually don't think Mew can come into play. I don't think... Mew can't come into play. So we'll get rid of Mew. Mew doesn't come into play here. I have too big of a hand. I mean, I guess they could Iono me, but... Didn't they already Arven this turn? Yeah, they Arven this turn, and they've already Unfair Stamped, so my hand is not going to get small. But I was going to look at how much does the Binding Mochi increase? Adds 40 more damage. Okay, but they go for the Darmanic Cannon, which doesn't knock out. So my win con is boss's orders. Both of my bosses are gone, though, so... They do take out a Hoot Hoot, though, which is fair. Which is fair. I have no way to change what's inactive. Pikachu is who I want. I do 200, so I do knock out here. We are going to play down Pikachu. Actually, Wellspring could have actually hit hard here, because they actually are weak to us. Wellspring actually did just win us the game. I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect them to promote this. I expected them to go for the 2-prize knock. Darmanic Cannon also does win it for the next turn, so we are going to kill this, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll attach that there. We'll attach our Sparkling Crystal because it doesn't really matter at this point. But yeah, Wellspring Ogerpon did just have game, but I didn't think they were going to promote this. Put this there, and we will flip the script for 3. Get Crispin. I don't think Crispin really does anything for us this turn. I mean, we could go ahead and set up. I mean, we have energy in hand to set it up next turn, and we can't. I mean, Why not just set it up? I don't have anything else to do with energy this turn. So let's just go ahead and have Pikachu set up just to show them like we have game on board. And then I could Ultra Ball, which would actually keep this Hoot safe, but they can't set up another Darmanic Cannon, so it doesn't matter. We just take the knockout here. We take our prize card. I'm not seeing their line to victory. Because they don't have a way to snipe our bench and take, like, 3 prize cards. That's the thing, they have no way to take 3 prize cards here. Because they can't evolve another Darmanitan this turn, they don't have one on their bench. There are no other bench snipers that they play, especially in Zoroark, that they can attack with. I knock out everything that they have and I only need 1 prize card, so I think that's just GG. I truly don't see their... Good game. That was good. Honestly, there were some better lines we could have ran there. But this does show you, In's Zoroark is going to be a big deck that we do see floating around in this format. I don't think it's an S tier deck. I think it could use some work. I think that, like, when you look at all of the trainers Pokemons they put out, In Zoroark is really cool with the trade ability and the Night Joker and all that, but I just don't think it's a very good attacker, only because there aren't a lot of great In's Pokemon that you can put on your bench that don't require you to set up. I think the better strat there would be to set up multiple Darmakus on your bench, so that way you can actually get a reliable second turn attack off. But GG. Our opponent won the coin flip and is choosing if they want to go first or second. They've chosen to go first, which puts us in going second, which is okay. Hopefully we can get Wellspring into our deck, or into our hands. We can sob. We can start them, even better. So we can at least sob with energy. We'll put down Pikachu EX. I don't know, I just like having 2 Pokemon on the bench, or additional Pokemon. We are going up against Dragapult. And we do see that they are running a rare candy, so that is very important to keep in mind. They also have the Duskull line, which, I mean, is the way to play it. I also really do like the, like having a Monkey Dory in the deck. I think that's really fun. We could actually boss Soblock the Duskull to force them to, like, pop to be able to attack if I don't draw into... We don't draw into anything helpful. So we definitely bench the Hoot. We're definitely going for a Soblock angle. We could Soblock the Duskull. We didn't get to see which Ace spec they're playing, though. But I do think we do this. I do think it is our option here. If they're playing Sparkling Crystal, though, they could... I don't know what their hand looks like right now, but they could Rare Candy Sparkling Crystal, or even just Rare Candy, attach Psychic Energy, attach the Dusclops, pop the Dusclops, take the knockout, put 1 on Hoot, 1 on Pikachu, split the other 4 wherever they want. So, I mean, there is a way that they get an attack off this turn. It would just make me cry. What are they going for with the Arven? Are they going for... They are going for Rare Candy Sparkling Crystal. Are they doing everything that I just said? Oh no, they're going for the Dusknoir Rare Candy. Okay. Okay. And they are going for the Curse Blast, probably to take out my Hoot. So that way I can't get drawn next turn. That is probably their smartest play there. Or not smartest, that would indicate that there is a bad play. I mean, we get the fairy. I need Crispin for a big knock. I think that is the best play there. I guess smartest still works. I just feel, I don't know. We can Night Stretcher back the Hoot and put it back on the bench, so we can still set it up for next turn. They aren't getting an attack off with this Dracloak though, because they did just evolve it. Buddy Poffin probably for Duskull and a second Dreepy. I can't imagine they put Badoo down on the bench. Unless they're planning to retreat into Badoo, which, I mean, they could. That might actually be the best option here. I think that is the best option here. Retreat into Badoo and Itchy Pollen. Ah, man, I don't love this. I don't love this. I don't even know what I'm hoping to top deck here. Nest Ball would be a fantastic top deck. If I could do anything with it. I don't think we need to bench Clefairy. I don't think they play very many. We know they obviously aren't playing Unfair Stamp, which means we aren't going to get a knockout here. I don't think they're going to play. I mean, they could be playing an Iono. I think we just go for the same, like, Saw block here. Because we can't set up anything on their bench. I don't want to put the Clefairy down yet. Because I don't. If they're able to get off an attack, I don't want them to be able to put any damage onto the Clefairy until I can do anything with it. So they Saw block. Their only way to get into active is to use a switch. That is dangerous, putting that down on. Because if I have Crispin, if I top deck Crispin, they do play the Iono. We knew it was an option, but I would rather lose the Clefairy into the deck. I have so many ways to get back into our hand. Man, if I could have... If I can top deck Crispin, and they aren't able to evolve that Dracloak, and I can send that Sparkling Crystal away, that would be... I don't know why they... I know they attached it because they were planning to Iono, but I think that's so dangerous to attach it. They have to go for the Evo this turn to keep it safe from Torrential Pump. But I mean, there's a lot of ways to keep it safe. They can Ultra Ball for the Dragapult. They could just get the Dragapult off of those Recon Directives or off the Iono itself. But they aren't doing anything. Maybe they're deciding what they're going to throw away with the Ultra Balls. Okay, they're just going for a Petty Grudge. Please give me Crispin. Please give me Crispin. Please give me Crispin. Let me get rid of that Sparkling Crystal. Wait, that'd be incredible. Fez and Dippy doesn't do anything. Zero reason to bench them. Super Rod doesn't do anything. Please give me Crispin. Please give me Crispin. Okay. 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 I think we'll still put you down, because we can use you later. We could put down the Fez. I don't want to. But there's potential that they could get a knockout next turn, because they just need to attach Fire Energy, Rare Candy, Dragapult. And while they could spread damage across, I would really love the retreat. I mean, they could do all that and Iono me again. I don't know how many Ionos they play. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't know how many Ionos they play. Now that they're running like 3 Lances, we'll throw it in. We'll throw it down. I don't really want to use my Super Rod just to bring back a singular Hoot Hoot. So Saw block it is. Hope for the best. Hope that there is nothing that they can do to me. Maybe. Give Buddy Bit Poffin for Dust Skull and another Dragapult? Or another Dreepy, rather? No, just for a single Dust Skull. Is their 4th one prized? I feel like you would want another one down to try and set up some more Recon Directives. Man, we had a really slow start here, or else this is such a bad matchup for them, because we have so many options with Wellspring, with Lily's Clefairy. Like, this is such a bad matchup for Dragapult. But we had a really bad start. So we'll see if they're able to do anything this turn. They do get the 3rd Dracloak, so they do get a 3rd Recon Directive. This is such a great deck. You gotta grab Ultra Ball here. You gotta grab Ultra Ball here to protect your Sparkling Crystal. But they still don't have an option for getting an attack off this turn. Hawlucha put probably 10 on Vezandipity and on Pikachu. That's where I would put it. I don't know necessarily that you needed to do that this turn. You're just blocking your bench, clogging your bench for no reason. Are they gonna go for a Dragon Headbutt here? I think they are. They still have the Ultra Ball they haven't played yet. I have no other Gust option, so I have no other way to lock a different Pokemon. I would love to lock that Hawlucha inactive. Rescue board still doesn't do anything for you, friend. You are still saw blocked. Still can't use it. They do still have the Ultra Ball. What? Wait, does the Evo get a... Does Evo get rid of Sob? Wait, does Evo get rid of Sob? Does evolving a Pokemon remove Saw Block? I mean, I guess it does, yeah, because it removes like any other, like evolving would remove like other status conditions, so I guess so. Dang, that's just a disappointment. Okay, I first, oh well, there. Hey, Crispin. Hey, bud. There you are. Coming in a little late here. Coming in a little late here, friend. Don't you think? Don't you think? Just a little late to the game. We could go for a Pikachu, which I don't love. It doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good to attack with Pikachu. Doesn't feel good even a little bit to attack with Pikachu. I go for Ursaluna. They've taken 3. So that doesn't necessarily feel good either. I could throw these 3 back in and try and pull out another Wellspring. If I put 240 here, 100 does take the kill. There is a world where that works. There's a world where that works. Because they've taken 3 prize cards, so 1, 2, so I only need 2 energy to attack. Alright, then we're gonna Super Rod you 3 back in, because I need this Psychic Energy if I'm gonna attack with Lily's Clefairy. And we'll Blood Moon. So they need to Gust to be able to take a knockout. Because even, I mean, they could pop Dusk Noir to get the knockout on Bloodmoon Ursaluna, but just a regular Dusclops will not give it to them. But they do have a lot of cards in hand. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I know we do have the Counter Catcher, which will come into play. Like if we can set down another Wellspring, Counter Catcher would be fantastic. But then we would also need Crystal Crispin. Alright, they do the Dusclops, which means they do not take a knockout this turn, because they can only pop to put 50. So they do still need the Gust to be able to take a knockout. They do have their second Dragapult set up, which is really good for them, really bad for us. They do go for the... I don't even know what I don't know what I want to top deck here. Because there's not multiple pieces don't help us here. Multiple pieces do not help us here. Because we can't even get an attack off this turn. So chat, I think we're just cooked. Is the long and short of it. I mean, we're gonna countercatch. We have to countercatch with the Hawlucha to lock them to try and lock them inactive. It's our only play here. Attaching the electric energy anywhere doesn't matter, and I could go ahead and energy switch the metal energy to Pikachu. Potentially use Pikachu for it later. That way, if they are able to move it around, I don't lose. Let's do that. Let's keep that energy and not lose it. And then we'll end turn. We don't want to put out Area 0 because then if they get like a Latias or anything else, this requires them to use pieces to be able to get an attack off again. Throwing away energy is an option. Surprised they threw this one into active. I'm surprised they didn't throw the one with more HP into active. Actually, they just take... Never mind, they just take game. They just take game. They just pop the 130 onto literally either of those two, and then they just take the game there. GG. Yeah, this is just a really slow start for us here. But if we were in a best-of-3 format, I still think we would take the series overall. Yeah, this also just goes to show, again, Tera Box, as we talked about at the beginning. A lot of times, its worst enemy is itself. It has so many different pieces, so many different ways to get places. Getting those cards into your hand early is just tough to do sometimes. The cards we got, we did the best we could with the boss's orders. To just saw block them. I honestly did not even think to realize that evolving technically turns them into a new Pokemon and they are no longer saw blocked. Which is the reason why they were able to get out of the Sob. They were able to switch away. I don't know if there would have been a better option than if someone... Because I think at that point, the benched Pokemon were another Dracloak, the Dracloak with the Crystal, and then Badoo. I don't think they had the Duskull on their bench at that point. If so, that's who I would have saw blocked. But even then, I had nothing. I didn't have any way to gust anything to do it anyways. So I think that was the best we could have done in that scenario. I think maybe better plays would have been go ahead and benching that Clefairy when we had it in hand. Honestly wasn't expecting the Iono. This Hawlucha still, I think it was a misplay for them putting it down. Because they didn't need those additional damage counters and it just clogged up their bench. I don't think this... Also, I said Latias. Latias doesn't allow you to retreat. Latias wouldn't be playing this because Latias only allows basics to retreat. So they could have benched other stuff. So it's just one of those things of you never really want to bench something if it's not going to help. And those two additional damage counters they put down did not help in the end. But even then, it didn't matter because they had the energy to retreat it. The only reason I say this is because typically Dragapult only plays a 3/3 energy. And to throw away energy when you don't need to sucks. But yeah, it was a good game. Shows some good lines, shows some good fun, some good ways that Dragapult can still beat Tera Box. Dragapult is still a great deck going into this new format. And that is our look at the Tera Box. Would love to know your thoughts on it, how you're planning to play it, how you think just my deck in particular, what you would change. There is some options I've heard when we have been streaming this of dropping the second boss and instead adding a PAL pad. Again, there's so many different ways to build this, and I think this first regional is going to be the first place where we get to see really a lot of different people's interpretations of how to best build Tera Box. So definitely let me know what you're thinking about the deck in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know what other decks you'd like to see. I'm planning to play Raging Bolt soon to show off how well it's doing in this format, as well as Future Box, or Future Hands, however you want to refer to it, is also doing pretty well in this format, coming back and which it's the first deck that I played when I first got into the competitive scene. So it's really fun to see it like coming back around. We could also try out Walls. I don't want to play the Walls deck, but I think it is important to understand the decks that you can match into, so that way you know best how to beat them. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.